sports. I just got a guy to join us here who is one of the all-time greats. Gary Clark, 84 in your program, number one in your heart. What do you think about camp? I mean, I know you were a guy who wasn't the biggest fan of practice, but in training camp.
I got my Iron Man T-shirt every year in training camp. I never missed a day of training camp. I got my Iron shirt.
But that Iron, Callow, you remember I talked about that Iron Man T-shirt?
Yeah, last week.
And how Joe Gibbs, it was the psychological warfare. You would die to not miss practice so you could get that daggone shirt.
That is so true.
Isn't that something?
I got it every year. I never missed training camp, ever. Never missed a day of training camp practice. The regular season came, my hammies would give out, and I missed quite a few days of practice, but never training camp when it was hardest.
I never understood the diagnosis with your hams, and I know we should never compare, but every generation does. You would pull hams and you still maintain speed as long as you didn't aggravate it throughout the week. Your game day performance never was altered.
I was very fortunate. I mean, I was smart. I take a numbing agent before the game. I made sure that way, and then it would bleed like crap, but I didn't feel it because it was a numbing agent.
Yeah.
And then
that numbing agent, folks, that's code for. Yeah.
You know. So, but I was, and then adrenaline took over at that point in time.
Yeah.
And, you know, back then, I had Ricky Sanders. Before we got 3 wide out, Ricky Sanders was my backup, you know, and Art's backup. Both our backups. So let's put it this way. I was looking at Ricky. I was like, he ain't taking my job because he was that good. I mean, he really was that good. We know, a few years later, he's breaking records in Super Bowl 22. So we both know how good Slick was. And that's the reason why we went to 3 wides, because he was so good.
And isn't that the essence of it? It's about competition.
Yes.
The better competition you have at each position, the better the end result becomes, because guys know that I cannot afford to slack it down. Otherwise, I'm out.
That's why it's so important. That's why when people talk about injuries, I never make that as an excuse for winning or losing. I just don't, because quite honestly, your backup should be as good or better,
no question,
as you are. And in that case, that's what we were.
Yeah, and that's what management's all about. We just had our first offsides. You know, the one thing I do judge, I know it's practice and that's important, but offsides and ball on the ground. And then we just had one. And you know what? You can't tolerate that. I'll switch it in any sport. Martinez, the manager of the Nationals, talks about doing the little things, and it really matters. And that's the first one I've seen today.
Oh, that's good.
You know, you don't see the ball on the ground a lot, and you don't see a lot of plays being called back. So that, to me, is an example of a good practice. And you know Joe Jackson Gibbs.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't playing when it came to them 40 plays.
And quite honestly, the mental aspect of the game is just as important as the physical aspect of the game. We all know that, Doc. I mean, every guy up here that made it to this league is a great physical player. Mm-hmm. They really are. But if they can take care of the mental aspects of the game, which is the most important part of the game.
Just had another one. You see Morgan Moses just went, and it's in with Dwayne Haskins Jr. What he probably did a dummy call. But, again, that's where youth comes in, inexperienced. They're not used to him.
Right.
He's not used to them. So you get that. And this is the things you can't try to explain to people. It's not about just pure talent. It's about understanding, them getting used to your voice, your snap count, and then you get a little mishap, and you cannot afford to have that in the game.
But I also liked how Haskins looked at him, too.
He looked at him.
I liked how he looked at him like, don't do it again. Like, the key is, players have to hold players accountable.
That's right.
Do. Every player can hold each other player accountable, and you respect that because it's coming from your peer.
Yeah,
100%.
It is, going back to the old days and to practice and James Arthur Monk. And I want to say this because Josh Dotson just made a play on the prior play, caught a crossing route, went upfield. I don't agree with the comments. I'm with Brian Mitchell on this when he said, I don't have anything to prove. You always have something to prove when you wear that uniform in this town. That, again, I would have coached him differently on. But I like the fact that he seems to be playing relaxed. And the guy's long, and he's got skills.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great talent. There's no doubt about that. You see him make some great catches throughout the course of his years here. Just a matter of keeping him on the field, keeping him healthy. We keep him on the field, keep him healthy. He's going to make plays for us. At the end of the day, I think he's saying that, too, to try to release some of the pressure because the pressure's on him.
Oh, there's pressure on him.
People are on him all the time.
There's pressure on him.
My thing is this: whatever you have to do or tell yourself that allows you to play better on the field, you go ahead and do that, because at the end of the day, they will judge you. And your performance is everything. If you don't perform, they will get rid of you too.
You know, we mentioned that Iron Man T-shirt, and we talked about it. I'm surprised that no one has done that since then.
It's so crazy to me. The smallest things is the most important thing to athletes. Like, we like to compete. We like those things. We like, from the Iron Man T-shirt to back in the day getting those little portable televisions when you make.
Oh man, that's Sony.
All those little things, you know, they never really came in and never worked, but you had that little plaque on it. Exactly.
You had to get that, man. I tell you what, and those leather BALLS,
yes,
man.
yes.
I'm telling you, it is amazing how small things, and that's one of the things with Joe Gibbs and his genius, is that Joe understood team dynamics. And he understood those little things, like giving us those 5 goals and saying that we got to establish a run, 3.2. We can't give up 2.1. Right. We cannot turn it over. We got to get sacks, and we got to force turnovers.
Right. The psychology of the game is what Joe understood, you know. And he also understood that I'm a strategist. His job was to give us the strategy.
Right.
You know, him and, Bones. Their job was to give us the strategy.
Right.
Our job as players was to tweak that strategy as a football player and then carry it out, because that's what Joe understood. But all the great coaches understand that you let your players play. You create the play. You create the strategy, and then we tweak it, because we've been playing this game since we were kids.
Well, you and Art and them could tweak it. Everybody, the rank and file ain't tweaking nothing. You were doing what you were told to do, but you guys, he trusted you because the inline result is you made plays.
Yeah, too. And because
it's about plays.
He understood that what we were putting on the line, too, is because if we didn't make the plays, when we did tweak it, well, guess what? We're going to get cut.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Everybody else.
Exactly.
You only get us your last play.
Oh, there's a pick, and guess who got it? Now, this time, I think, oh, my goodness. That's the one thing, as much as we talk about Josh Norman, yeah, you can go jumping with the Bulls and do all that you want to, but the guy has hands.
Yes, he's a great athlete.
He's a great athlete, and he just really jumped on Colt McCoy, threw a lazy, and he ate it up, and the crowd jumped up. So every day, 24 makes a play. Yeah. Moreland makes a play on the ball. And Q, 23. I'd love to see you and Quentin Dunbar going at it.
I mean, it would have been I like competition. I always wanted to pull out Darryl because I knew Darryl was going to make me better.
Yeah.
And that's truly one time where, 50-50 was a good day against Darryl. If you got 50-50 against D. Green, that was a good day for you.
Exactly.
But it made me so much better when I had to go up against guys like Dion and those other players that were like D. Green, just great defensive backs. Yeah. But you want that challenge.
I talk a lot about Darryl World Grant. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And who's one of my favorite players of all time.
Yes.
And the fact that he went toe to toe with Russ Grimm every day, that was his sparring partner.
Unbelievable.
And there's no reason it ain't. It don't take a lot to figure it out.
Right.
When you were fighting that guy, and Mark May and Dave Butts, the wars that them two big dudes had.
It was unbelievable. And that's why our defense and our offense, I believe, were so good. That's why we had all pro bowlers on the defensive line. That's why we had Ultimate the Hogs, what you guys were able to do, because you guys going to get that tough competition every week. It makes you a better football player when you truly do go at each other.
Yeah, no, one thing I'll say, and it does make a lot of sense, and I love them today. Whenever I see Okaway, I see Rich Malott, Scrappy Dog, all them dudes, man. Mel Kaufman. Mel might have been 220. Mel Kaufman was like a cobra.
Yes.
He knocked you. I'm telling them dudes,
yes.
It's just like our guys, man. Liebenstein. When I think about, we had some tough hombres. And in the end, you got to end up with some tough people out here that maybe nobody knows yet. Right. But you earn your name in this game by results.
And you earn your name with your teammates.
Yeah.
Your teammates say it first,
Yeah.
And if your team doesn't have enough nicknames on the defensive side, then that's a problem.
You ain't lying.
Like Dirty Al.
Dirty Al.
You got things like
the
that.
Prize Bull. Yeah.
Exactly. So you want to know that. I want to know that I'm battle tested by the time I go out there and I play on Sunday for the real thing. I want to know that I'm battle tested, and then I'm just not going against my second and third team. I'm going against the best guys in that 7-on-7 drill and that 1-on-1 drill. I understand that the health's a part of it, but also, Joe was just a different. Everything's a West Coast offense now. When I played, it was the East Coast versus the West Coast, and quite honestly, I'm an East Coast guy.
Well, it was, and you got to give the 49ers a lot of credit. What Bill Walsh did, they did it differently than we did it. We did it a certain way. Bill Parcells did it his way, and, of course, Jimmy Johnson did it his way.
Right.
Jimmy Johnson, Parcells, all of those people were more inclined to what we did. And there's another big catch by 18. Every time I see that young man, I am pulling for him, because the pressure being the number one draft pick at wide receiver. And then he just went and ran a nice slant route, made the catch, got in the end zone. I am pulling for him. But that 90 kid, that Sweat, boy.
You're playing, huh?
It's freakish. 6'6", okay? 6'6", 260, 4'4".
What?
Yeah, 4'4".
What?
4'4".
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
What?
It is
some LT type stuff.
Yeah. What? Well, I haven't seen that. Well,
I'm just talking about in terms of the measurements.
Yeah, because Lawrence was in 2-point.
Yeah.
If Lawrence had to put his hand down, God knows.
Oh no!
He did that standing.
Yeah.
On 2 feet.
Explosion.
How you could hit him, and he take your energy, and some guys will go back. No, he goes horizontal. He goes down the line to get the ball carrier.
Wow.
See, some guys want to beat you up.
Yeah.
Other guys make plays. The two guys I'll never forget, Jack Ham and Lawrence Taylor.
Right.
And they are in the game to make tackles.
And Charles Haley.
And that's a mad man.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, he was more inside. He has hand down.
Man.
Charles Haley had the best guys who get rid of you. It's almost like he was like jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Charles had great hands where he could take your force, turn it against you, and he gone.
Yes.
And turn his body. So he's a big dude who could get small in the moment and attack the ball carrier. Those are three of them. And all three of them, let's face it, Hall of Famers.
Well, 100%. I mean, that's why they got to I don't know about Mr. Ham, but I know what LT and Charles, anytime they allow you to move around.
Ham's Hall of Famer.
You do what you want to do. Oh, yeah, I know. I know
they're all but I'm saying, but different styles.
Oh, yeah. I see.
Jack,
I didn't know if they allowed Jack to move wherever he wanted to go.
No, Jack played left side.
LT and Charles, they got to move around wherever they wanted to go.
So. And it was unbelievable. No, that was good. What would delight you? What are you looking for out of this camp the next couple of weeks?
Well, I'm looking for the guys that actually, like a lot of camps – and this time and age, it's not quite as physical as it was when we played, of course.
Well, they don't even have pads on.
But I want to see the intensity. Without the pads, you still have intensity. I want to see guys making a catch, and I want to see them finishing off 10 yards after the catch, 20 yards after the catch. I want to see that guy, when they pick it off, I want to see them finish it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. That's a big thing.
I want to see that because, you practice those habits, and those habits become just natural to you. So I tell my 10-year-old right now, like, you are what you practice to be.
Man, you had that kid running since he was like 5.
In the day, so, I mean, it's crazy. I posted like a little video of him on social media. They kept him 5 yards back. They held him.
I saw it.
They held him.
I saw it.
And
he ended up running him down.
Man, he ran him down and surpassed him. And now he's feeling himself a little bit.
You put him on social media, man. You put pressure on that kid.
I'm going to put ice water. No, he's feeling himself now. Like, he didn't see the social media that I post. I don't let him look at the social media. But he just feeling himself now because the coaches gave him some props.
Oh, okay. That's good stuff. Yeah, well, look, man, appreciate everything that you do. I know you've got events going on. It was good to be at the Vail last night with you and Redskins Nation. People came in. We got great fans, man.
Great giveaways, too.
Great giveaways, man.
The skins are
giving away. Jackie, man. Well, Jacqueline, she did another great job.
She always comes through. She's a rock star, 100%.
Yeah, so we had fun with that. So I will see you, my friend, afterwards. We're going to go back to work. Where you going to massage now?
No, I'm actually going to go down. I'm going to enjoy the game with my son. I'm going to let go. I'm going to try to find Doug on the field a little bit.
Yeah, get a photo with Doug Williams.
My son, and then have him watch practice.
That's a good deal. All right, G.
Appreciate it, Doc.
Thank you, my man. Gary Clark, as Coach would say, simply one of the best. We will be back with live coverage here in Richmond, Team 980.